Hi, my name is Tomas Alejandro, and today I'll be presenting my final project for my Introduction to Health and Wellness class. Today I'll be talking about my personal behavior change plan. Now, over the course of this class, I have learned how to apply principles key to my overall wellness in everyday life. I've also improved my physical wellness by analyzing my diet and daily activity. I also internalize, make sense of, and learn and improve my overall intellectual wellness through experience and trial and error. In this presentation, I'll be identifying and examining a wellness dimension lifestyle factor. Compare and contrast current behaviors versus ideal behaviors to certain lifestyle factors. Describe some health risks and diseases. Review the trans-theoretical model. Behavior adoption, express my SMART goals, review specific theories and models, and how to utilize them in health and wellness, overcoming barriers, plan maintenance, or motivational techniques, and my wellness philosophy. Now, the wellness dimension that I choose to improve on is spiritual wellness. Spiritual wellness deals with both the physiological and psychological aspect of the human body, mind, and body. Spiritual wellness helps cope with stress, establish peace and harmony. I believe spiritual wellness affects every aspect of wellness because it deals with both the mind and the body. It deals with emotion, social behavior, and it helps deals with stress and physical wellness, and also helps with motivation. The reason why I chose spiritual wellness is because, based off of week 4's journal, my assessment activity 9-1, I scored a 651 on the stress test. It far exceeds the recommended amount, which is 500. Now, anything that exceeds 500 basically means that that person is at a high health risk of sicknesses and diseases. Now, the lifestyle factors responsible for this low assessment is my home and finances. Current behaviors is excessive television, which could be because is procrastination, and a poor sleep schedule. The International Journal of Behavioral and Nutrition and Physical Activity states that diet and physical activity are recognized as the most proximal determinants of energy balance. Excessive television is an example of a sedentary behavior, which is a behavior dealing with sitting and in a lying position. Many men and women and children who utilize television excessively may have other sedentary behaviors that may negatively affect the energy balance of the body. Ideal stress management behavior is time management, exercise, reading, studying, meditating, and also other priorities. Health risks and diseases associated with excessive television is weight gain, obesity, increased risk of type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, and premature death. Health risks and diseases associated with lack of sleep is obesity, depression, and hormonal imbalance. Experts say that lack of sleep, specifically less than 6 hours, release hormones that increase stress levels, speeds up the heart rate, and raise blood pressure. Again, one of the leading causes among Americans is cardiovascular disease. And cardiovascular disease is associated with high pressure and a high heart rate. Researchers say that about 1 out of 3 people get less than 6 hours of sleep, resulting in a 12% chance of early death. Again, sudden death can be a stroke or a heart attack. Now, the trans-theoretical model of behavior change. Now, the trans-theoretical model is the process of intentional behavior change. There are 5 stages to this model. The first is pre-contemplation. In this first stage is that person recognize that they have a problem, but is not ready to make the change. Second is contemplation, getting ready. In this stage, that person already acknowledged that they have a problem, and they are currently in the process of making that change. Third would be preparation. In the preparation stage, number one, they have already acknowledged that they have that problem. They have already thought about or contemplated about making that change. And now the preparation stage is taking the necessary steps and doing the research to make that change. Taking action is the fourth stage, which is that person is now ready to take the necessary steps into making that change. And lastly is maintenance. Basically is consistency, staying consistent in taking that necessary action to making that behavioral change. Now, I've already made the preparations and investing the time and taking the necessary actions and steps into changing and preventing particular lifestyles. The stages I believe I'm currently in is action and maintenance. Now, to decrease my health risks and improve my specific dimension of wellness spiritually, I could develop congruence between work life, sedentary activities, certain values, and set clear objectives. Now, there are 3 goals or objectives I have in mind. The first is obtaining a medical lab assistant certificate. Second, obtaining my bachelor's degree in the next year. And third, obtaining a high-paying career within my field. I've already calculated the time. The first will be that I will be obtaining this certificate in the next 5 weeks. Second, I'll be obtaining my bachelor's degree in 1 year. I only have 36 hours left. And then my classes are online, so it's flexible. And then I would say I have less than 6 months in building a rapport with, because I already have certain prospects who I have in mind. And yes, it's attainable, relevant, and I've also already set a timely schedule as to when I will obtain these specific objectives. The social cognitive theory is a form of social learning that is acquired through one's observation of the environment and society. So basically, in the social cognitive theory, it's pretty much absorbing certain habits that's around you. And what I've learned, what I've motivated me to make certain changes is watching my wife. My wife made certain goals. Her goal is to lose 30 pounds. After my wife's pregnancy, she had gained, I would say, about 40 pounds. And she actually made a diet plan and also an exercise regimen to making that goal a reality. So watching her every single day has motivated me to make the change. And the certain sedentary behaviors that I realize that's affecting me, I want to now make that change watching her. Now, previously in my presentation, I've explained to you the trans-theoretical model. Now, of course, the trance theoretical model has 5 stages. In those 5 stages, it's pretty much the process of that intentional behavioral change. The first is pre-contemplation. Second is contemplation. 3 is preparation. 4, action. And 5, maintenance. In those stages, that person is taking those necessary steps into first acknowledging that they have an addiction or a problem, and then from the second to the 4th stage, they are in a preparation, okay, to taking that necessary action to making that change. And then lastly, maintenance is keeping that consistency into preventing old or bad habits. Now, we're going to continue to use the trance theoretical model, and I'm going to make an example. Now, overcoming barriers. Now, in the pre-contemplation stage, I'm acknowledging certain barriers with myself. Those barriers are laziness, poor planning, and self-motivation. Now, those ways I can overcome these barriers are proactivity. Being proactive, knowing that, hey, I can't stay lazy and stagnant. B, time management. Making a schedule, writing out a plan of what I should do throughout the day. And then, of course, lastly, is surrounding myself with motivational factors. It could be reading stuff that can motivate you. It could be the Bible. It could be watching someone or reading memes that help, motivational memes. Anything that can help you to self-motivate yourself into making that change. Now, in this preparation stage, the 3 motivational techniques that would help me to maintain my plan is attending fitness seminars, expos, events. Again, anything that can motivate you to making that change. Following and being involved with spiritual awareness, organizations, and churches. Again, getting yourself involved. Okay. 3, reading, watching more positive books and content that would help better my overall mental wellness. Okay. Again, prioritize yourself. Keep yourself active, physically active, both mentally and physically. My wellness philosophy, based off of the social cognitive theory and a trance theoretical model, I have realized that what my philosophy is that in order to be proactive and make a change and stay consistent is basically what your values and beliefs are. And all of that has to do with your spirituality. Because, like I said in the beginning, spirituality affects total wellness. And what spirituality is your values and your morals. And whatever those are is going to affect your total wellness. After identifying my SMART goals, I've realized that I have to make a positive change so that my objectives and goals are met. Again, early in the presentation, I've identified 2 things that affects me: excessive television and lack of sleep. Now, in a trance theoretical model, I have did my research. So I prepare myself. I learned that excessive television can affect me significantly.